Here we are on the Aussie dollar 15 minute, and this is a trend continuation trade I've just got in using a variety of techniques, one of them being a low and tight flag and one of them being a harmonic move using the RSI. And so what I want to do is I will leave this chart as it is, but I'll open up a fresh chart and we'll do our higher time frame analysis, and I'll run you through my thought process on this particular trade and why I think it was worth more of an aggressive entry. Not too aggressive, but a little bit more aggressive, simply because we have a good risk reward there, and I do believe a high probability of going lower. So hang on. Okay, so here we are on the, that's the hourly. Let me go to the daily time frame. We'll do our higher time frame analysis and just get a perspective of where we are, because at this level we could see a rally higher because we've only just broken to the downside, or we could just see a continuation and we're literally holding at this level waiting to drop. Now I'm going to put a structure level on where price closed, and it was there. Now you can clearly see that we closed below this level and this level, and we're actually at the only real level we're at is this one. Just let me look further left. Yeah, so the only real level that we're at is this one right here. So it is a level of structure, but the way I measure the strength of that structure is the bounce. Okay, we did a bounce, but that was it. Look what we did after. We just broke through it, and as we, excuse me, moth nearly flew into my mouth. As we go along here and we look, we can also see we had a that moth is nearly landing on my head. We can see here that we had a very bearish candle, a momentum candle. Now whenever I see that candle, here's another one here, I think to myself, well, at some point, if that is momentum, that momentum may kick in again, particularly if we're not at a strong structure level. Now, we are also at the 7100s flat, but we are not oversold. And what we did, well, yesterday, now it's 10 o'clock at night, and it was this candle. We put in an indecision candle, and the day before was another indecision candle. So right now we're not really doing anything but just trading in this little zone here. And so because we've had a break below, close below on the daily time frame, and I do believe we can go lower. In fact, let me just go back out there and show you. You can see that we violated that major VS1 level, and we can actually move all the way down to this zone. Or there is another level just here, a more conservative level just above that 7700s, and I'm going to keep that line on there because that's where I'm looking at taking secondary targets. So let's drop down to our 240 before this video gets too long, and you can see that we have been in trend here. So new structure low, outside return, new structure low, outside return, new structure low. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here, and outside return, and you can see that we have actually made a new structure low. So really anywhere in this zone here we want to be looking to short the market. These are not very steep. That we only did just make a new structure low. Well, when I say only, just by around 20 pips, 15 pips. So it's only a shallow new structure low, and we could see the market come back up to this main structure level here. But right now this is where we're at, and I have an opportunity, and I've gone ahead and taken that opportunity. So I'm going to just delete these two trend lines off, and what you'll notice after we had this run down here is we actually put in a low and tight flag. Not the nicest, but nevertheless the flag is defined by a run followed by two touches either side. Now I do not class these flags as being completed until we have hit the 127 fib extension, and if I throw that fib up there, you can see that we have not hit the 127 fib. Just let me, in fact I won't delete the fibs off, I'll just leave them there. You can see that it's all the way down there. So what we now also have, I'm just going to remove this, is that price then here on the 60-minute made a new structure low. We broke below the main spike here, indicating a move lower. So we've got trend continuation, we've got a low and tight flag that broke structure, and we're pulling back into structure. Now what else do we have? Well, we have something else as well, which makes this a little bit more appetizing. We have a harmonic move that has happened within the market. You can actually see this better on the 15-minute time frame, but nevertheless you can see that harmonic move there. And as I drop to the 15-minute time frame, you can actually see that we went overbought at nearly 89, and if we put an extension on here, you can see that we have a golden means full extension there, the 1618 coming in at that zone as well. So while the 15-minute time frame shouldn't have any effect on what the daily or the 240 is doing, I can actually use it as a little bit of confluence and say, well look, if I wanted to get short within this low and tight flag, that gave me the opportunity, so I took an aggressive sell. I did not wait for a lower low, lower close, and the simple reason for that is because I already have my entry. It is the low and tight flag. I've already had the break and close below. I've just simply waited for price to come up to a zone and sell it, and it just so happens that I had extra confluence. Now, does all this mean that I'm right? Nope, certainly does not. Like I mentioned, we could quite easily rally up to this higher structure level here, but I have a trading opportunity that has provided me a good risk to reward, and I'm just going to bring back on the original chart. In fact, just before I go, you can actually see as well on the 4 hour we actually made a new structure low here as well on the 4 hourly. So let me bring over the other chart. Okay, and here is the chart. So the way this looks is we have 72 pips of potential profit coming in at the 120 fib, coming in at the 70-50 psychological number, and targets down here are 102 at 70-20, so 20 pips above that even handled number, and just above that VS1 level as well, which I showed you earlier. So we've got our stops in the appropriate place here. If we were to stop out and this instantly reverse, that would be pretty bad luck. If we did get up to that level, I would expect us to be wrong, and so this particular setup I'm quite happy to risk 24 pips for those 72 and potentially that 102 as well. So we'll come back to this and see if it was a winner or a loser. And we're back on the Aussie dollar 60-minute time frame, and unfortunately we got stopped out for 24 pips. What I'd like to do is just run through the outcome of the trade, reanalyze it and see, did I stick to my rules, did I do anything wrong, was there anything I could have done better? And so what we did here, if I can just re-centralize this and we zoom out, we can clearly see we're in a trend here. So we had a 3-point move, 1, 2, 3, and we put in a low and tight flag, and we can see this here on the hourly, and on this flag I put a high and tight flag, but it's actually a low and tight flag that we actually tested 2 times at the bottom, 2 times at the top. We had confirmation here on the hourly in terms of a break below, close below, and then we had here, if you can just see these arrows on the 15-minute time frame, we had a harmonic move coming in at a 1618 extension, and we went overbought at 89. So you can see I literally aggressively sold it here. We went, what is this? I went 4 pips in a race. That was it, and then I came down, and we simply then just traded sideways, and I was waiting for the breakout to the downside, and we had news out a few hours ago, and we have now broken to the upside. So I am just going to delete everything off, and I am going to go out to the daily time frame and just re-look at the trade. did I do everything correctly? Was there anything I could have done differently? And I'm going to put a structure level on here. We had a major bearish candle there showing momentum coming into the 7100 flat. If I look left for structure, you'll notice that the next structure zone, there's really nothing here. There is, I think I pointed this out in the first part of the video, there's a minor level there, but really the next area was down here, and so that gave us plenty of opportunity. So just going back to the 60-minute time frame, I believe I stuck to my rules exactly. Just let me go to the 240. I got a good entry, I got a fantastic entry. I follow my rules exactly, and quite simply the trade lost. But not to worry, because the good thing is that we are still in trend, and we have a fantastic structure shelf here where price is rallying up to, and I'm going to be looking for shorting opportunities in this area. So that was a losing trade for 24 pips.